Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Gracious Jane YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Gracious Jane and karibu sana. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a video. So guys, as you can already tell from the title of the vlog today, this is the final part of the Daring Abroad series, which I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And I'm so happy to hear from you guys and to hear your personal experiences, and just knowing that somebody out there has gone through similar challenges and similar experience with me really is comforting. And I'm just so happy to be sharing with you guys my life experiences, and with the purpose of inspiring you guys and also helping you know and understand that you're not alone in the journey too. So it's a win-win for both of us, and I'm usually so happy when I read your comments and you know when you just say, oh, I actually went through the same thing. I started a business and it didn't work out. I used all my savings. The first time flying abroad, the experience how it was for me, and I'm usually so happy hearing from you guys. And as we complete this series, today's video is, you know, the kind of experience that you go through your life, and you know, you realize that wow, God still exists. God still really cares about me. And you know, when you reach the end and you feel like all hell is about to break loose, and just, you know, you just get a ray of sunshine and some hope, and something just happens and you feel like, whoa, God really does care about his people and his children. So this is that kind of video for you today. This is a video of hope, and just to remind you, even wherever you are, if you're going through any form of challenge, just know, when you have faith and you keep positive attitude, even when you feel like your things are going bad on your side, God usually does come through, and he does it in his own timing and his own perfect ways. So I feel like I'm about to start a sermon. Oh my God, can I preach now? Can I preach? Can I preach? Anyway, so guys, if you remember from the last episode of the Daring Abroad part 2, I shared a story of how I went back to Kenya, and after leaving my job abroad, how I used all my savings and lost all of it in trying out business ventures and, you know, trying to sustain a normal life back home without an income. And it was sort of a depressing kind of story, because you realize the mistakes that you've done. And so the last time I spoke to you guys was when I was in Kenya. I had lost all my savings, and now I had reached the end. Like, I was now either, you know, it's either I make it or I make it. So guys, in the year 2016, 2016, I would say the whole year was oh my God, that was a year of challenges. Part of 2015 and part of 2016. It was a very difficult time in my life, where I was trying to make ends meet, you know, getting jobs here and there, and trying to set up a business and trying to make ends meet, and you know, try to survive the normal life. So you remember I told you guys that I had gotten a job that was a bit shaky, and I would even go sometimes without being paid full salary, and the owner of the business was not so kind. And so during that time, I had already started, had gotten tired with being in Kenya, and I was now looking for opportunities abroad, because I thought that really Kenya is not for me. If this is the kind of life that I'm leading now, I don't want to be here anymore. So I started looking for jobs abroad. And at that time, if I don't know if you remember, but I had mentioned to you, my twin sister was already abroad, and she was the one who was helping me pay my rent, and you know, just help support my day-to-day upkeep. So she really tried to get me a job, and I remember in 2016 I actually got 2 jobs abroad. However, my visa did not go through. Actually, one job in 2015, another one in 2016. So two of them, and the visas did not go through. So I was totally devastated, and I was now like in the verge of giving up. Like I was almost giving up, to be honest. And then usually what I used to do in the morning, when I just wake up in the morning, I would just randomly apply for jobs online. And since I have a solid background in hospitality, I used to go to a website called Qatar Global, and I would just apply for jobs randomly. So on this particular day, I had applied for a job, and I used to apply for so many jobs. Like I used to say, because I have a background in events and sales, I used to go see all the jobs in sales, apply the ones that I qualify and the ones that I even qualify for. I apply for jobs in events, and I was just like, I'm scattering my seed. Whatever seed that comes or bears root and and becomes fruitful, then I will appreciate. So on this particular day, I remember it was on a weekday, and I think it was on Monday or a Tuesday. I can't remember the exact, but it was on a weekday. So I was just in town, Nairobi town, city center, just running errands, and I got a call. So when I got a call, definitely I just saw a number +974, and I was like, whoa, this either is because we used to hear about those con artists and people who hack your phones and all those kind of things. So I was kind of skeptical. So I was like, probably this is either a con or it could be a job, because I've been applying for jobs abroad. At that particular time, I didn't know +974 which country code this one was. You know how it is in town. So when your phone rings, you have to be aware of your surroundings, where you are, and when you pick up the phone, you have to be safe. So I was, I think I was on Mama Ngina Street on this particular day. It was around 11:30 a.m. It's going to midday actually. So the phone rings, so I saw the number and I was, whoa, shocked. Then I was like, okay, I should probably answer it. Okay, so I decided to, answer my phone. Of course, check where you are, be sure, be safe. So I answered, and I took the call, and I had a man on the other end with a heavy Arabic accent. So Jen, it's like, oh hi, am I speaking to Jen? Yeah, so this is so and so, I'm calling you from this company, are you in a good place to talk? And because he could tell that I was in a very noisy place, because in CBD, you know how it is, the matatus and all that. So he just told me, I can hear like you're somewhere very noisy, so if you don't mind, you can just give me a missed call, and I will give a call back to you, and we can talk. I'm calling from Qatar, and this is this company. So okay, so I told him, okay, fine, then when I get to a quiet place, I'll give you a call. Just give me around 1 to 2 hours, and I'll give you a call. Guys, I didn't even want to waste any opportunity. I finished what I had to do quickly, and I got into a matatu and headed home like ASAP. So when I go home, I luckily had internet, and I went to check. The first thing I did, I checked on my email, like all job applications, because usually when you apply on a website, they send you like a confirmation to say you have received your application, it has been submitted, our HR will get in touch with you. So I got the name of this company, and I went to search from my emails to see which job and which company, to get to know more about this company. And so I found out that I had actually applied for that job that very, very same day before I left the house, and they called me on the same day. This was a miracle on its own. So guys, I tell you, God is there. There's a God in heaven. I keep on saying that. There's a God in heaven. I was surprised. So even first of all, because I was trying to look for these contacts before I actually. Let me just take you back a bit. When I was on my way home, I texted my sister. I'm like, hey, yo, I got a call from this number and from this person. Do you know them? Because my sister, she was helping me get jobs, so I probably thought it was probably one of her friends who probably pushed my CV somewhere and did something behind the scenes to get me a job. But my sister was like, no, I don't even know these people, so I don't even know them. So let me just go check your emails. Don't worry if it's something that you applied for, you did not apply for, you can ask them just to find out how they got your CV. So don't be, don't panic and don't worry about it. When I got home, so I was searching on the emails. I found out that this is actually the job I had applied on that particular day. And this job was in Qatar, and the person who was calling me, it was actually the HR of this place. So I kind of did a small quick background research on this specific company and the person who was calling me, and just to know so I can at least be familiar when I speak to them. So when I spoke to the person, he told me that he would like to do a phone interview with me when I'm available. And guys, I was like, hell no, I'm available today. And actually, so I don't mind doing an interview with you. She said, I'll just do a small phone interview with you, and then I will check with the director of sales and marketing when he's available to speak to you, so he can also do a Skype interview with you. Wow. So I finished the phone interview. It goes on well. Then he says he'll get back in touch with me. So after around 1 hour or 2 hours, now this was around 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I can't remember. So he calls me back and he's like, Jane, I'm here with the director of sales and marketing. If you're free, we can do an interview with you. So let me know. I was like, yes, let me just set up my Skype and let's do this. So I did the Skype interview, and funny enough, or guys, let me just tell you, like, this was just a testimony, because how I got to be shortlisted for this position is the director of sales actually knew one of my referees on my CV. So so later on, this is when I came to learn. Later on, he just was in the interview. He just asked me, how do you know this and so person? I'm like, I was actually working under him. He's my former boss, and And then he's like, oh yeah, I used to work with him a while back ago. So yeah, and I actually spoke to him, and he actually gave a good recommendation for you. I was like, whoa, that is so good. So guys, don't burn bridges. Even when you leave work, it's important not to burn bridges. So that was one of the testimonies. So later on, so I got interviewed, I got the job. This was in November, towards the end of the year. So when I got this call, so it was in November. So by the time it was December, I had already done all my interviews. I had done all my medicals. I had done, if you worked in the Middle East, you have to do like a pre-medical. You either do it pre or when you get there. So I done my pre-medical. I had gotten my visa and my ticket. And on 10th of December 2016, I flew to Qatar to start a new journey and a new career. And this was just God just showing up in an unimaginable way in my life, at a point where I had really, really given up, and I was almost in the verge of, getting depressed, because so much had happened in my life. And those 2 years that I was in Kenya after leaving my previous job and trying to survive in Kenya were really the most challenging time, I would say, in my life. I think if I can be honest, I think that is the hardest patch I've had in my life so far. The 2015 and 2016, those have been the most difficult time in my life. But I'm so thank God that God does things in ways that we cannot even imagine, and He opens doors in ways that you can't even imagine. Like, I had just sent one application, and on this particular day, on the same day I sent application, I get interviewed and I get confirmed. And 2 days later, I have my offer letter, and then 2 weeks later, I have my visa, and I'm out of the country. Like, everything happened so fast that I couldn't even believe. It's just the way God works sometimes, guys. It's just unbelievable. So if you're there and you feel like things are not working out, it just takes one day, or even less, just a second, and your life changes and turns around completely. So that's a testimony of how I got my job in Qatar. And now from 2016 I've been away from home, so until now. So things really started going well for me, and God started opening even greater doors for me. And I really thank God and acknowledge God for His goodness in my life, because honestly, I have seen God's hand in my life. Like, not in just this job, but in so many ways that things go bad, and He just there's just tend to work out for my good. And when I got to Qatar, so doors started opening up, and I actually met wonderful friends, especially my roommate. I forever I think I made a lifetime friend. My roommate Algie, such a lovely lady. From the day I got to share the accommodation with her, she has been a friend. She was so kind to me. She gave me like a whole tour of the whole country and introduced me to so many things and to so many people. Like I had a smooth transition settling in. Like I've never met such a kind soul like her. She was a good friend. She really helped me in so many ways to settle in Qatar, and like everywhere I know in Qatar, she showed me. She like took my hand and showed me everywhere. She like every time we would leave work and I'm so tired and so she's like, no, Rumi, you're not sleeping, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. And we shared really good memories together. I really love that girl. And then when I was in Qatar, Qatari people are wonderful people. They are loving people. The culture there, it's beautiful. I remember going to Souk Waqif and having some shisha there, having some coffee, and spending time there with my friends. They're enjoying the food. The culture is beautiful. It's beautiful. It was just a beautiful place to be. And then there's freedom of movement. It's just a very nice country to be in. It's actually a very beautiful country. I would go back there, honestly. So I loved it. I loved it there. So also in Qatar, I met a couple of Kenyans who were my colleagues, and actually very nice ladies, who are still my friends to date. I don't know if I should mention their name, but yeah. So I met two wonderful ladies, actually a couple of Kenyans, I would say, friends who I was working with. So one of the ladies introduced me to a very nice NGO. I would say it's a community-based group. I would say Kenyan community-based group. It's the Green Maasai Troop, where Kenyans from all walks of life, meet and network together and help one another when they are in problems, and do community work together, just to give like a very good to market our country abroad, I would say. So they really do very nice campaigns. During the national days, they volunteer to assist with community-based events for the Qatari people, and also for just other African nationalities, to just bring and market our culture abroad, and they really do a very good job. So I joined that community-based group where we would visit the sick in hospital, just being your brother's keeper and supporting one another. And I remember there are even times when we would there are cases where when you apply for a job and through an agent, when you arrive in the country the way you had applied for this job, it's a totally different job than what you had applied for. So you end up getting mistreated, you're not happy, you're depressed, and most people even try to commit suicide when they're abroad or they're mistreated. And so when this community, the Green Maasai Troop, when they learn of such kind of cases, they usually go and try and offer a helping hand in whatever way they can. And so there are times where we would visit people in hospital. Somebody is in hospital, their company doesn't even care about them, and they're left there. So nobody's visiting them. So you can imagine that kind of situation where you're in a hospital. In a hospital and nobody is visiting you, and your company has sort of given up on you. So you can imagine. So in those kind of cases, Green Maasai would get notified, because it is a very known group in Qatar, and so they actually get notified and they offer to help you. And in situations where the embassies don't help, or they are ignorant to such kind of things, they actually make sure that they put pressure on them to help Kenyans and inform them, hey, there are people out here who are suffering, who are Kenyans, do something. and and these kind of things. So I really that's the second thing that I love about Qatar, this beautiful community of the Green Maasai troop who go out of their way and market our country, market our heritage, and also offer support to Kenyans living in Qatar. It's a very, if you're in Qatar and you're watching this, that's a very good group. I would advise you to go I'd advise you to go and enroll and just find out more about them and join this group. It's a very good group and I love it. I totally love it. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you got encouraged. I hope that you learned something new, and I hope that you feel uplifted, because I want this page and this content and this channel to be a channel of good and positive vibes. So when you come here, you leave having learned something, having laughed, having been inspired. And I really do hope that today's video was that to you. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me to the end. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Let's hit 1K before the end of this month. Thank you so much guys for sticking with me till the end. I love you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.